Hello and welcome back, guys. So in this session we're going to complete the face using the puppet warp technique. So in this session I'm going to introduce you to a new technique called puppet warp, which is mostly used in animation, but we're going to use that in typography here, and also combining the first method which we used earlier and then the warping method that we used right now. So we're going to complete the eye portion using all these different methods in order to move on to the next level. So here we are in the final part, so let's go ahead and finish our eye portion here. So if you notice, I've completed the complete body part and everything. I've just kept the eye alone separately because in case of eyes we can't actually completely depend on this warp technique. Instead, we would actually need to have a combination of the previous method and the warp technique here. So let us go ahead and do that as well. So let me just go ahead and start using this. And reduce the font size completely. And coming to the next one, maybe we'll go for this one and try something like this, or maybe something like this and like this, like the one which we did in our previous method. So just adjust this shape alone. Yep, and go ahead and finish it off. Okay, and this one I would like to take this a bit down. I think it's better, yeah, something like this. And this one, just Control J, duplicate as usual. Hold Shift and Alt or Shift and Option in your Mac and just reduce the size, just push it inside a bit like this. Enter, and maybe I'll just go ahead and have some letters here and just put that alone there, something like this. So the final process, let me just have something like that's enough, and just take this and keep it here and go to my layer and convert it to smart object and edit this and warp the text. So this should be fine here. Something like this, and again take this layer, convert it to smart object and keep it there, and edit, transform and warp. So that's it. I think we're done with the eye portion here. So next is your, I think you guessed it, it's your mini challenge. So just go ahead and fix this up for the other eye as well. So I'll just wait for you guys. You can just take your time and come back once you're done. Okay, welcome back. So let me finish this thing up now. I know it's pretty easy because right now you would have been a master in typography so far, so it shouldn't be a problem for you guys. Okay, and Control J and just show transform controls and just move it up a bit. Maybe just some letters here. Just take this up and put it there, and right click and convert to smart object, edit, transform and warp. Yeah, I think that's fine, no problem. Another 2 letters, maybe something like this. Maybe you can use a font size of 2. Something like this. Right click and convert to smart object. Edit and transform and warp. Right click, convert to smart object, edit, transform and warp. So that's it. So I think we fixed the eye portion here. Now, as I promised earlier, so we're gonna cover up something new called as puppet warp. So what is this puppet warp? Puppet warp is actually very similar to the warp technique, but it's quite useful when it comes to animation. So, but right now we're not going to cover up animation, so that is something else. But we can use that puppet warp technique in our this anime typography. So what does this do actually? So it's very similar to warp, but the difference is when you select any particular layer, go to edit, and there is a thing called as puppet warp. So when you select that, you would notice that instead of a complete square warp, only the letters are having a particular mesh kind of effect. Let me just press escape, and let me show it to you on a bigger layer or something. Maybe I'll select this layer and edit and puppet warp. You would notice there is a mesh over the letters alone. So what you can do is, it allows you to pin a particular area and elongate a particular area. So let's say I just put a pin here. You would notice a small pin is there now. So let me say I'm just putting a pin here, and if I just move this now, you would notice that that particular area is pinned there, and this alone, the remaining area alone, is moving. So in other case, if you want this to move, you would notice if I move this one, this is pinned here, and this particular area is moving now. So let me press escape if you're not satisfied. So why do we need this? Because you would notice that in some places there are some small gaps here and there, and at some places the letters are overlapping each other. So we're going to fix that using our puppet warp tool, right? So let's just go ahead and do one by one. So let me select this particular layer, edit and puppet warp, and you might see we have this here. So just select it, put a pin here and just select it, and I'm going to bring this one down like this, something like this, and put a pin here and just take this a bit up like this, or maybe something like this, and press enter. Now edit again and puppet warp, and see if we can fix all these things here. So put a pin here and put a pin here and just bring this thing down a bit, maybe one here and one here, and just bring this as well. Put a pin here and bring this down, because these are kind of, it's peeping outside, so I don't want these things to be like that. So let me put a pin here and here and here, and just put a pin here and just elongate this thing like this. Okay, if you notice, these two are kind of connected to each other, so it's dragging the other letter as well. So put a pin on these things as well, and then just drag it, so that won't be affected now. So something like this, and elongate this area like this, and see if somewhere else we need to do something. So just put a pin like this and bring this a bit down, and bring this a bit down too, and put a pin here and put a pin here, one on top and one on top here, and just elongate it a bit down. So now if you notice this, we are just actually filling up all these areas properly so that we don't see much of spaces in between them. Okay, so just bring this a bit down and bring this a bit like this, put a pin and just elongate like this, put a pin here and here and here as well, and just elongate like this. Okay, so just press enter then. So now it's properly arranged now. So I think we just need to fix up few areas. I think this particular area. So select this layer and edit and puppet warp, and just put a pin here and put a pin here, and just drag it like this, somewhat like this. Maybe you can put a pin here as well. Yep, I think that's enough. I'll adjust this side and as well as this side. Edit and puppet warp, and just bring this thing down. Just in case if it gets elongated, so better I'll just bring this a bit down like this and enter. And enter. So now you can notice that a gap is filled there. It's a small space, but it's filled there. W and puppet warp. Enter. And we have one small area here. Just select this layer, edit and puppet warp. And enter. So I think that's it. That's enough. So just go ahead. I think here we have one more letter here. I think we can fix this one as well. So edit and puppet warp. Enter. So I think that's it. So that is your puppet warp tool. You know, we use it usually in terms of animation, but here in our case we just need to fix up some small issues, so we just use that here. So if in case you have any doubts or something, you can just ask me. I'm just there to help you guys. So I think you have already completed the eye portion, so just go ahead and fix these small gaps if in case it's there, if anything is there in your picture, and that will be your next challenge then. So just go ahead and finish it up, and I'll catch you guys in the next session with, as usual, finishing up this picture.